It makes us so happy to see Emilia experience some well-deserved happiness in this emotional roller coaster of a show. ReZero Season 2, Episode 22, titled Happiness Reflected in the Water, was a unique episode in the series as it builds on multiple anticipated events occurring one on top of the other. In this episode breakdown, we'll be talking about the fight between Garfiel and Elsa, Frederica and our not-so-powerful team of misfits, Natsuki and the long-awaited Betty reunion, and the significance of Emilia's experience in the second trial. We'll also be talking about some theories and comparisons to the web novel. Before we get into this week's breakdown, welcome back to Detective Anime, the channel that brings you spoiler-free episode breakdowns, Easter eggs, manga comparisons, and theories on your favorite anime like ReZero and Attack on Titan. As a new, growing channel looking to bring the best content possible for anime viewers, we would really appreciate it if you smash that like button harder than Emilia's planning on smashing that third trial. Comment what you thought about the episode, or if you want us to talk about anything else anime, and join our detective cult by hitting that subscribe button for weekly episode breakdowns of ReZero and Attack on Titan. We genuinely appreciate it, so thanks again, and let's get back to the episode. As Studio White Fox ramps up the ending of this season, we can feel the pacing exploding in ReZero, as so many conflicts and interactions are building to a dramatic finale. We aren't quite sure how White Fox is going to cover this much material in the span of 3 episodes, but we're excited to see how everything ramps up to a final conclusion. The episode begins with a dark screen and Garfiel and Elsa flashing in a Naruto-esque opening sequence, revealing them fighting to the death and destroying the beautiful mansion. We're hoping that Rosewall has insurance for all this damage, but either way, his mansion's destruction doesn't come close to what he deserves for everything that he's done to Emilia, Subaru, and our whole gang. Unfortunately, the fight scene isn't focused on for long, as we turn to Frederica escaping with Rem. But we can also tell that Studio White Fox has some big plans as the animation ramped up for those brief moments. One thing we did notice from the brief fight is how Garfiel is moving with his brand new shield gauntlets. Though the Bowel Hunter is clearly impressed with Garfiel's abilities, there doesn't seem to be anything we've seen yet that shows the potential for a special ability to take down someone like Elsa Granhirt. We're optimistic in the Gauntlet's abilities, and one theory we have regarding them relates to Garfiel's ability to transform. While Garfiel's offensive abilities seem to be unmatched in this form, somehow Ram and Otto were able to bring him down a peg. This means that one of the only weaknesses he has is his defense. Our theory is that if the gauntlets can morph with his ability, it could possibly serve as armor for protection against the Bowel Hunter's attacks. On top of that, there's a possibility that the gauntlets could morph into some sort of claws for his paws, similar to Philo from Rising of the Shield Hero. Without some sort of power-up like this, we're a little worried that Garfield won't be able to take down the Bowel Hunter as she's looking a hell of a lot tougher than him. Honestly, how was she smiling after getting her face smashed and dragged all the way down the corridor? She's definitely capable of more than what we've seen, and we can't wait to learn more about her in the near future. That is, if Garfield doesn't smash her head in first. We always seem to ask ourselves just how Subaru always manages to find his way to Beatrice's library despite getting insulted by her every time they meet. But hey, at the end of the day, they both get along pretty well, I suppose. Get it? This time, Subaru knew that he was ready to get Betty out of that lonely library and turn the tides of the battle with her on his side, with the knowledge behind why her stubborn nature has driven her to be the way that she is. He explains the fatal flaw behind Beatrice's gate crossing ability, and makes her realize that eventually Elsa will reach her forbidden archives when she opens every single door in the mansion. As our well-researched Beatrice quickly realized the only way Elsa would know about her secret is through Rosewall, she accepts her fate. Our Tony Robbins motivational speaker Subaru knocks some sense into her right after this full existential crisis and attempts to make her realize that even if she thinks that she is a blank book, and the reader will only be disappointed after opening it, she has to find meaning for herself. That she is the real reader. Though the conversation led to the inevitable question from Beatrice of whether Subaru could be that person to find meaning in her and set her free, he replies that there's no way I could be whoever that person is to you. And with less than a moment's notice, we get to see our favorite Wonder Boy fly out of the Forbidden Archives and crash against the wall. As we've seen in the past through many fights with Emilia, while our emotional young Subaru has good intentions with his words, he clearly isn't the best in expressing what he means. We then hear the voice for the winner of the Best Supporting Character Award at the Anime Awards last week, Otto. Voiced by Kohei Amasaki, we hear the shakiness in his voice as he and Petra aren't able to escape the mansion because of the mob beasts surrounding the area, explaining that one specific mob beast, the Guilty Law, is unaffected by the mob beast ward. Unfortunately, a really heartwarming moment in the web novel that White Fox didn't adapt here happened where Subaru stroked Petra's head, praising her strong heart for remaining composed during this extreme situation, where even a young Subaru would have been absolutely terrified. Additionally, it's written that Subaru was also worried that Garfield wasn't the sort of person who had enough resolve to actually kill a person. A weirdly placed writing, as we've seen the kind of damage that Garfield can do when he loses control. But it is important to note that Garfield is still a young boy, and some of Natsuki's worries are reasonable, as he's seen the true soft nature of him through everything they've been through. Next, we turn to the hippopotamus that nobody asked for, as Meili the little devil brings her rock piggy out for a ride. Definitely have to wonder what Rosewall was thinking keeping that thing in the mansion, but hey, when a man's got style, who's to ask questions? Frederica hands over the lifeless Rem to Subaru, and drops our favorite little best boy Otto to the ground faster than Garfield dropped his tough guy act in front of Ram. Placed in the bottom of the Natsuki-Subaru hierarchy of people, Otto may not be treated the best, but he's still a best boy in our hearts. After Petra's shrewd negotiating skills, unfortunately Meili shows that there's no room to take out any of the crazy that the witch's cult has bred into her head. Petra sticks out her tongue as the team runs away, leaving Frederica to take care of the child devil. We then turn to Emilia entering the tomb once again to go through her second trial, and this time we can feel just how confident she's become in her abilities, carrying the hopes of everyone that's counting on her. While we didn't get to hear what was going on in her head, the web novel mentions that she was thinking about what happened with Ram in the last episode, and how she must do everything in her power to repay the faith and trust that she was given. Emilia later wakes up to the sound of one of our favorite characters that we wish we got to know much more, Mother Fortuna. The scene brought a tear to the eye, as the last time we saw her, we were left with her mangled body after the horrifying tricks by Pandora, the Witch of Vainglory. The episode once again deviates from the novel, as after this heartwarming reunion, Emilia would have went to take a bath before she got her breakfast. But at this point, we're pretty sure if that scene got animated, the entire fandom would have a heart attack, and the viewership would be non-existent. During her journey, we get to see so many people respectfully in awe of her growth, making comments and expressing joy in the fact that she turned out to be a strong young woman, just like Fortuna. This scene had such an amazing significance to Emilia's character, as she had been through so much doubt in her life. Whether it was citizens that saw her hair, the villagers below the mansion, Natsuki's ill-attempted expressions as her hero, Knight, and countless others, Emilia finally got to be recognized for who she is instead of who others thought she was. As the novel explains that she felt her legs quivering and that she couldn't breathe properly, she realized things weren't right as she meets Archie, her given-named brother. The trial ended here, as she says goodbye to Fortuna and Juice, who she still doesn't realize is Betelgeuse, killed by Subaru earlier in the story. As she leaves and speaks to Archie, it is revealed to be Echidna, who is then thanked by Emilia, being told that she is thankful to her for giving her the opportunity to see everyone again. Despite Echidna's attempt to sway her to live in this altered present, our strong Emilia-chan holds on to her beliefs that she wants to be an admirable person for the people who are still in her life. Echidna sheds powerful tears and tells Emilia that, "You disgust me. I just hate you so much." A clearly confusing moment as we don't understand the intense hatred that Echidna holds. One thing is for certain, though. There is something clearly built from the past leading Echidna to have this hate towards Emilia. Could it be because of her jealousy towards Emilia for having Subaru's heart? We joke, but we're excited to learn just how Emilia and Satella connect with Echidna. The trial ends as Emilia jumps into the water, staring into her own reflection as a sign of acceptance for who she truly is. This moment, paired with her memories moments ago, with Puck protecting her and her realizing that she's always been protected by others, shows the immense growth that Emilia's achieved through this season. A quick note for any OVA watchers, we're happy to see some footage from ReZero the Frozen Bond mixed into the memories, but one scene in particular that we've never gotten before appeared in the blink of an eye, as we see Emilia with the true form of Puck. An emotionally confusing moment, as we've only seen his true form used to turn the world into a ginormous iceberg. The episode ends with Emilia entering the tomb once again, after receiving a heartfelt and emotional moment with the people of the sanctuary. With Emilia being accepted in the false reality, accepting herself, and finally becoming accepted slowly by the people in the real world, we look forward to seeing how she will handle the final trial. Until then, hope you enjoyed this week's breakdown of ReZero, and we'll be back next week for Season 2, Episode 23, and this Sunday for Attack on Titan, Season 4, Episode 13. Until then, don't forget to toss us a like, subscribe, and feel free to comment below if we missed anything. Also, check out our ReZero and Attack on Titan playlists for past episodes. Thanks for watching.